Never heard of the Millennium Falcon?
Should I have?
It's a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a hot minute since you've heard from us. If you haven't checked out our game show episode already, please do so. But we are Kessel Run Weekly, and you have Cheyenne here today with you, myself, and Brody. Say hi, Brody.
Hi.
But we are trying to get back into the swing of things. It's gonna take us a minute to kind of find our flow again, but we appreciate everybody's patience and loyalty and friendship. What I'm thinking for you guys is maybe main channel episodes one week, and then the next week do a Clone Wars commentary, and then keep doing it bi-weekly like that. I think that just might be easier on everyone's brain, and also still making sure that we bring you quality content. So we are here and starting not necessarily a new series of things, but just doing it in trilogy format like we love to do here. And we're going to talk deleted scenes. So I brought Brody along on this adventure, and I'm very excited to get to hear his points of view and his fun facts. And we are doing original trilogy. As we should. You know? As we should. Always start with original trilogy.
You mentioned we're doing deleted scenes?
Yes.
Okay, good. I was not paying attention.
That's okay. That's okay. Me neither. I was saying it and was not paying attention.
Whatever comes in my brain.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all out on the table.
That's my intros 90% of the time. I'm like, hi! Okay.
Hi, today we are going to talk about Star Wars content that we are very proud to produce.
Yeah, we are, but I'm just like...
Well, we are, but like, we're not lying. We're just not focusing on what we're saying. I just accidentally say something like, and I haven't changed my pants in 3 days.
Mental illness, isn't it?
It's just something that like pops in my brain, and I just say it.
Yeah.
And I gotta take the dog for a walk.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I know what I'm supposed to be saying, but also this thing is on my mind.
This is also on my mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you're like writing down something and then you hear a conversation and you write down whatever they're talking about and you're like, how did this happen?
Exactly. You're listening to like a podcast while doing an essay. I did that. I genuinely did that today. I was listening to like this comedian's podcast, and I just started writing down what they were saying. Like, no, this is not about that time I rediscovered myself on a spiritual journey. This is talking about YouTubers and stuff.
That's so funny. Yeah, very different things. So let's just jump right into this. I'm so excited about this because I don't think I've ever seen the original trilogy deleted scenes or the prequel deleted scenes. I've only seen a few prequel deleted scenes, and I think it's just been like in snippets. So to like watch these was kind of interesting, especially because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, during quarantine, during going back to work, during going back to school, just kind of everything that has accumulated in my life, I haven't watched a lot of Star Wars, and it's making me sad, but I can't really pinpoint why I'm not watching a lot of Star Wars, and I started to the other day. I started putting on Rebels to go to sleep to again, which is what I used to do, and then I've been watching like some YouTubes and some TikToks, and maybe TikTok is bringing me like my satisfactory Star Wars content for now, but I'm gonna... And I watched, you know what? No, I watched A New Hope the other day too. So, I'm getting there. I'm getting back into it. I just was struggling for a little bit.
I would say the same. During quarantine, I haven't watched a lot of Star Wars, and just now I'm really starting to, like, get back into it, and I think it's because we are redesigning our garage to be a bit more efficient for, like, armor production.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's kind of been a little bit of a motivator for me, and I also just got the Lego Mos Eisley Cantina set, and I watched all of the original trilogy while building it, and that was really great. I had a wonderful time doing it.
Good. Yeah, sometimes it just kind of you need a moment with life, and then to bring yourself back into it. There's always something to bring yourself back into it. And to be fair, I did just get my record player, and I put my Star Wars records on quite a lot. I found a 1977 copy of A New Hope, so on vinyl. So that's nice. All right. Speaking of A New Hope, wow, what a segue.
Good transition.
Right. So the deleted scenes, I think A New Hope has, maybe Empire has the least amount. I don't know. A New Hope, to me, I think has the most interesting ones, though. As far as a whole. The first one that we see is an alternative Biggs and Luke reunion in the X-Wing hangar. And he says the same thing about Luke being like a really great bush pilot. I don't really know what that means. Bush pilot? Do you know what that means?
I don't know.
Let's
like,
do
I
a
think
Google.
Being a bush pilot is like, you know how they're talking about sky hoppers and stuff and shooting womp rats and whatever.
So maybe like
I think,
literal
like,
bushes.
Yeah, like they're in the bushes, like the dried up weeds of Tatooine going through Beggar's Canyon or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. And then tell me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. 3PO, like, it did like a quick blip to 3PO asking R2 if that's what he wants. He was like, is this what you want?
Yeah, because it's like he's getting on board the starship and he's like, are you sure? Like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure this is what you want to risk your life for this rebellion? You Death Star?
So interesting to think about that being such a sentient thought. You know? It really is. It's so, like,
well, you think, like, 3PO
self-aware.
Screams when he's scared. Like, he gets scared. He's like, get them off of me. I'm scared. Like, you know.
Yeah. It's so weird. Well, and I wonder if he, at this point, I can't recall the timeline because, like I said, my brain is just fuzzy all around. But I wonder if he recalls, like, R2's, like, experience with just being in things like this.
Well, I remember because Captain Antilles gave them a memory wipe when Bail Organa gave them to him to be on board the Tantive 4.
Right.
So, I don't know, because there's, like, something like, R2 still kind of knows about it, but, like, he did get the full memory wipe or something. But 3PO got a full one. Like, he doesn't remember Anakin, he doesn't remember Padme. That he's just gone.
Which is so strange to me. Okay. But it's also weird because he gets his memory wiped, but R2 always has his stuff backed up. So, like, how often does he bring back... What does R2, like, pick and choose what memories he gives back to 3PO? Probably.
That one time R2 stole his ice cream and was just like, oh, well, we don't need we don't need that.
Delete
that. We don't want it. Then, like, he gives them the memory reboot. It's like, oh, you're still my best friend. And I still got my ice cream back there, but I don't remember eating it. And
exactly.
Like, oh, that's weird. Okay, let's go on.
You definitely had it. You definitely ate it. And then, from this scene, so their little pilot leader knew Anakin? Is that what we gather?
At that time, it was not established that Anakin was Darth Vader. A New Hope, I think, was just because originally A New Hope was just Star Wars.
Right.
There was no Episode 4, so I don't think they planned that Darth Vader would be
Luke's father.
Okay.
Okay. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
It's pretty much the same exact scene without that guy talking about, like, I knew your father. He was a great pilot.
Right.
It was, they got rid of him. Like, they made him walk up on the scene just like, hey, you're a good pilot. And then it got to, like, a guy walked in front of the screen. And it's like, I hope you're good, and then leaves. But in the background, you get to see, during that whole deleted scene, you see R2 being raised into the X-Wing.
Yeah.
But during the edited scene, you see him, like 3 inches off the ground, and then as soon as the guy passes by, he's, like, 3 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
So it's just like, whoa, how did he get up there?
Mm-hmm. Typical. Okay, the next one, Aunt Beru's blue milk. I gathered 2 things from this scene. Blue milk sounds really gross when it's being poured. And why didn't we get that scene? I think that would have been cool.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of what the original Star Wars was about, and this was before it was Episode 4, before it was planned to have like a big cohesive story. Originally, Star Wars was just going to be wacky aliens and like, whoa, that's weird. Like, one of your main instincts when you watch these movies are, whoa, that's weird, or oh, that's strange. That's why I think now don't crucify me for this, but I'm genuinely fascinated by the Star Wars Holiday Special because before you get your pitchforks and your torches, because it's just pure wacky Star Wars. Like, oh, it's weird.
Yeah.
And that's like the original intention of Star Wars. It wasn't before it was just a sci-fi action movie.
Yeah.
But then with Empire Strikes Back, it became a sci-fi fantasy, introducing more whimsical elements and like deeper stories within themselves and a deeper understanding of this galaxy that it's made. Before it was just, oh, the milk is blue and it's weird. Like, oh, that's a weird way of doing things. And that scene with Beru pouring the milk is kind of like a reflection of that. Oh, what a weird thing. She just pours it for a minute and it's weird, sloshy blue milk. It's like,
It is really gross, man.
Have you had the blue milk at Galaxy's Edge?
I have.
How is it?
It's pretty great. It is. So.
It's like a slushy, right?
Kind of. It's more like slushy meets smoothie.
Okay.
And I can't remember which is which. So blue and green, and like respectively, they are like one is like more florally, and one is more like fruity.
I thought blue milk was more fruity.
I think you're right.
Because I've heard stuff like that, but I just wondered the consistency. I never heard, like, I've always heard people talk about the taste, but never the consistency.
Yeah, it's more like
I'm really scared.
Yeah, it's probably like 75% smoothie, 25% slushy.
Okay.
It's
so
good,
kind
though.
of like a melted down milkshake, but not fully melted.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, and it's cold. Like it's chilled like a slushy, but the texture looks like a smoothie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like a chilled. Like when you put like a McWendy's Frosty in the fridge for like half an hour, and it's like not completely solid, but it's not super soft either. Exactly. All right, cool. We can move on now. I wanted to get that out of my brain. That's like another one of those things that I just want to get out.
So the next one is the longest deleted scene from A New Hope, and it's the Cantina rough cut. So basically, there's like no sound effects. It's just audio of what's going on in the room. So they were picking up like mumbling and sounds and speech and whatever, tinking of cups and whatnot. And it's also black and white. And the first thing I noticed was an astronaut. Is there an astronaut in the movie?
I think like in the background there is a guy in like some kind of spacesuit.
Yeah.
But then in the Phantom Menace they shown that it wasn't like a straight up astronaut. It was a guy with like a skull face.
Ah. I was like, because like that's obviously not a human, but it's also obviously not an alien that we know about. So what is it? And I was like, is it a spacesuit with a purpose, or is it a spacesuit as their clothing?
Yeah, there's the exact scene. Star Wars spacesuit guy.
Spacesuit guy.
Yeah. This was like the suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
This guy like right in here.
Exactly.
But in the Phantom Menace, it was this guy. And he has like a skull face.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, like they got like a closer shot of him, so like you see his face. That's Rumsleg, if you want to look him up.
Well,
Rumsleg.
We stand Rumsleg. Maybe.
We stand Rumsleg. We stand Rumsleg. Well, it depends on what he's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what he is all about.
It's like he killed his children, and it's like whoa.
Yeah.
He just walks around, and he's apparently in the Boonta Eve pod race stands. a little bit of everybody. So he's obviously like a background character that they gave a name to, just to expand the universe.
They really do love doing that. Okay,
Yeah.
and we have... Ooh.
It's like everyone has a name and a purpose. in the
Yeah.
galaxy.
For some reason. We also have some spicy news. Han was with a lady.
Yes.
That is spicy.
And he's like, "Oh, get out of here, sweetheart." You're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's this about, huh?"
Yeah.
I know that there was like, Kira and other girls before Leia, and there was the one girl, like, I can't remember if she was like a bounty hunter or something, but she was in the Star Wars like itself comics.
Oh, I never read the comics.
Well, I've got them over there. It's like a girl. She joins the rebellion eventually. She has like big hair.
I know who you're talking about.
Like, she's got like big hair, and she's like, I'm this Solo, and that's my husband. And it's just like,
Yes.
who?
I know who you're talking about. Yep. I've heard about her. I don't remember her name, but yeah.
Yeah, she was a Solo.
I wonder if that girl was supposed to be her. No.
No.
She seemed like a
not at all,
rando.
but it was just a rando girl to be like, oh, he's like an entrepreneur, if I say it lightly.
A scoundrel, if you will.
A scoundrel.
Oh, that's my email. Sorry, everybody.
That's very loud.
I know. Oopsie. Alright. So, a girl with Han, and then later they kiss?
Yeah,
Gross.
it's like,
I'm just kidding.
gross. I don't want kissing in my Star
No
Wars.
kissing in Star Wars. There's no crying in baseball. Okay.
There's no.
There is a lot of
crying
kissing in Star Wars, so
baseball.
I can't say that. No blasters. Audio was cut when the bartender was like, "No blasters, no blasters."
Yeah, but he was
That
just
was
like.
so panicked. Yeah. It was like
You
so
can't- You
panicked.
can barely hear anything. In
It
there.
didn't seem ideal. So
They definitely added it in post. Like,
Yeah.
The guy actually going, "No blasters, no blasters."
yeah. Interesting that they would even think to yell that in that moment in time. Like, it's good that they didn't try to keep something like that in there, because people in the real world wouldn't be like, "No, you can't do that," in the middle of a firefight.
Like someone like has like their firearm pointed at like a bank teller.
Right.
And it's like, what?
You can't do that.
Don't be silly. Don't
Yeah.
be silly like that. Don't do that.
That's just not, it's not it. What else? Oh, and then there's a human snitch instead of that anteater face looking guy.
His name is Garandan, and he's a Kubaz. Thank you very much, and I will respect you.
Very
if you
intelligent,
refer to him
everyone.
as such.
What's his name?
Garandan.
Garandan? And he's
It's
a
one whole word.
Kubaz.
It's not like Garandan, like
Garandan.
Figurandan.
Figurandan.
Garandan, and he's a Kubaz.
Yeah.
And there's two more Kubaz in The Mandalorian. The ferryman and then that one bounty hunter.
I did notice that.
The lake episode.
I've always called him Anteater Face. He also looks like he's got a plague mask on, so plague mask face could work too.
You know how every alien was kind of given like a marketable name? Like not everyone wanted Mama Nadone, the Ithorian, so they just called him Hammerhead.
Yes.
Or they like called one guy, it was like General whatever, he has an eye patch, but they just called him Prune Face on the action.
Yeah. That's so funny that they did that.
Yeah, like that. Do you think that's like offensive? Like those are like slurs in their world. It's like,
It's
hey yo, look at this Hammerhead.
gotta be.
Stop calling me a Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh
look
my
at-
God.
Look at Prune Face over here.
It probably
Yak
is.
Face. There was Yak Face.
Mm-hmm. Walrus
It's like,
Man.
ah, yeah, Walrus Man.
Yeah,
That was,
that's gotta be.
Ponto Baba. Like that has to be some kind of insult in that world.
It's gotta
But,
be.
Like I was saying, the one for Garandan was Long Snoot.
Long snoot.
That
Aw.
was his little action figure
That's cute.
on the card name, Long Snoot.
That's what I'm gonna call
And it's
him.
like, wah, meow, wah, wah, meow.
Wow, that's so accurate. Okay, I literally wrote a human snitch instead of Anteater Face.
A human snitch.
He went outside and he snitched on him. Freaking turd.
Snitched.
Alright. Best part. best part of this whole deleted scene. Do you know what it is? Because I know what it is. You know what it is.
Oh, I know what it is, but I'd love for you to say it.
English Greedo! English Greedo!
English
English Greedo!
Greedo.
English Greedo! Best part.
English Greedo. English Greedo.
Oh man, it was so funny.
That's a meme for your Reddit.
I was so taken aback. I really just don't even know what I expected. First of all, I don't think I even expected to see that part, but it hadn't occurred to me that in the other deleted scenes that I've watched that, like, obviously the people that are, like, in the suits are the ones that are talking. And I was just like...
Have you ever seen Peter Mayhew talking?
No.
Peter Mayhew talked while acting.
Yeah.
They added the roars in post, of course.
Oh,
but he
right.
didn't just go... Like, just open his mouth or whatever. He just went like, that old man's mad. Like, you hear him in his, like, soft British accent. It's
Aww.
like, you said it, Chewie. Like, this whole thing.
A kind soul.
Funny. You
It's
gotta,
so
like, listen to it, like, Chewbacca speaking English.
Yeah, I'll have
It's
to
the
Google
cutest
that.
thing. It's the
Also,
cutest thing.
English Greedo says, get up at the end. Do we think that's what McClunky means? Because then it also cut to what we saw in the movie of, like, I'll bet you have. And then...
I cannot believe that you brought up. Well, they had to, like, change the subtitles, of course, to, like, fit a different narrative. The guy was just spitting probably, like, oh, that's the idea. I'm gonna kill you right here and take the money. Like, I feel like Greedo always had the full intention of killing him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he wanted to be discreet about it and not kill another guy in the bar. But, I think, I was gonna make a joke about McClunky, but you kind of beat me to it. I was
sorry.
Just like, I'm surprised he didn't even say McClunky.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, what the
heck?
heck, Disney?
Add
Add the clip of him saying McClunky.
Add McClunky.
Let's translate it. Add the subtitle.
Add the subtitle of McClunky. Oh my god, that's so funny. Yeah, I just was like, get up didn't make any sense, so maybe that's what McClunky meant, and then they just put McClunky in there because you can't tell that it means get up.
My mom and my sister, when we were watching A New Hope for the first, like, as soon as we got Disney Plus, we were like, first thing we gotta do, other than The Mandalorian, is to watch A New Hope.
Yeah.
And we watched A New Hope, and there was no news of, like, McClunky at this time.
Right.
And then it happened, and we were like, what was that? And we, like, replayed it, and we were like, huh. Weird.
It's so strange.
McClunky.
I love it because it's strange, but it is strange. Okay, so this next one, I know you said you had a talking point on it. This is Vader widens the search. So what were you thinking about it?
Yes. Well, not only is the scene, like, it's a good scene, but I feel like it's just not important. Like, it's just, him talking like, double your search. We will find them, whatever. James Earl Jones. Or was it? I don't even think it was James Earl Jones that did that specific voiceover.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sounded different. It sounded like a different.
I know that David Prowse was voicing some of them in some of these deleted scenes because in it.
He just kind of sounded like, I'm Darth Vader.
Yeah,
Go
he doesn't
away.
have like a nice Vader voice, so I don't know.
But the fact that I wanted to say was that stock footage was used in future Star Wars content. That was used in a brief scene in the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh.
It was when Darth Vader's like, search every household in the galaxy. I want to find them now. Like, as they're walking down, when the officer's talking to Vader, you can see that he's obviously saying something else. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, when we were watching it that one time, or like when the Kessel Run crew was all binge watching it.
Yeah.
We were just sitting there, and I was looking at him like, that guy's voice is not matched up to what his lips are doing. I wonder what he's saying. And then when I saw that scene, I was like, wait a minute! And I went back to the Holiday Special, looked up that specific scene, and I was like, huh. It's right after the scene with the shopkeeper.
Okay.
And he sells the super shaver or whatever.
Yeah, I'll have to I wish that my brain held on to that kind of information, but it just doesn't.
It will never assist me. It's like, oh, how do I pay bills? No. How How do I do this? I don't know. Did you know that Long Snoot is named Garandan and he's a Kubaz? Like, come on, dude.
True.
I'm never gonna use this information in my whole life other than this very moment, and then it's like, gone. I'm never
That's
gonna
so
do
funny.
it unless Lucasfilm hires me to be a storyboarder.
Unless.
Just saying. Shooting out.
Unless.
I'm just shooting that out into the forest. If Lucasfilm is listening, I would love to get a job as a story writer. I know every single story beat of the Star Wars galaxy. I'm the chronicler.
You have spoken it into existence. All
I
right.
have spoken.
Next one is Old Woman on Tatooine. I really think that this is the old lady at the end of The Rise of Skywalker.
Ray,
She just yells and, like, pumps her fists. So she was probably
what
being
if she was just like,
rude.
Yeah, go Jawas! And then
Or
just
that.
walked away slowly.
Yeah.
Could have said some kind of Star Wars profanity.
Yeah, Star Wars profan. She probably called somebody poodoo or something.
Or scruffy looking nerf herder.
Yeah.
Milker.
Yeah. It's interesting that she shook both fists, but it's fine.
Yeah. Maybe she was just like, yeah, bingo night! And that's where she's walking to. She does look just like the old lady in... I don't know if that was intentional.
I don't know. The cloak and everything, because I was like,
The cloak and everything.
what would be the point of having the lady at the end? Obviously, at the end... I'm sorry, y'all.
6 o'clock.
At the end of, The Rise of Skywalker, I get that the point was to allow Rey to, like, accept her found identity and, like, tell us. But...
Like, make it a little bit more obvious instead of, like, a subtle thing of just Luke and Leia looking at her and just being
right. And being like, yes. But...
It's like, the kiddos won't get that. It's the kiddos. We gotta incorporate.
Yeah. And... But then I think about it, I'm like, I wonder if they, like... know. They have to know.
They have to know.
They have to know that they had an old deleted scene of an old lady on Tatooine that was just like, meh. And then they were like, let's bring her in.
I know that Disney has been trying to bring, like, dead Star Wars content back. Like, example, in The Mandalorian, the fledgling Mithril mentions Life Day, when George Lucas explicitly said, I don't want this in my movie. Or, I don't want Star Wars, the holiday special, to be anything. I don't want Life Day to exist. And now they're making a new Lego Star Wars special, that, like, a Lego Star Wars holiday special that is supposed to be Life Day, but it's like a big crossover between the prequels, original trilogy, and the sequels.
That sounds horrible.
Lego does pretty funny stuff. Like, have you ever watched
They
some
do,
of Lego stuff?
yeah, I guess you're right.
They do it really
They're
funny.
a good, like, comedic platform.
I don't know who does it. Like, I don't know if it's like the same guys who done like Robot Chicken or something. Because it's just a bunch of nerds that know what they're talking about, and it appeals to the nerds that understand it, like a la you and me.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so funny.
That's
and
true.
like, it gets genuine laughter out of me when I watch them. Like, I watched them like a couple months ago in like the beginning of quarantine. Like, I watched all of Resistance. I did that, and then I was like, man, now I don't have any other new series to watch. Screw it, I'll watch the Yoda Chronicles.
Yes.
And I watched all of those, and they're funny.
Yeah.
I think like the funniest one was there was a character introduced in the Yoda Chronicles. He was like a clone that was infused with like a kyber crystal, and he was force sensitive.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was cool. He had a big glowy transparent arm, and
Whoa.
yeah, it was cool. And his name was like Jack, and Yoda was on Dagobah, and he was like, sense trouble with young Skywalker, I do. And he was with Ben Kenobi, and it's like, I think you know who you have to call. It's like, yes, the only one who can save the day now. And then the ghost of Qui-Gon appears, and he's like,
God.
I have arrived, just as you needed me to. And then he's just like, Qui-Gon, yes, you're the one we needed. He's like, well, what do you need me for? And Yoda was like, you can open up this jar of pickles.
Oh my
and
God.
Like, and he looked like really like, are you kidding me at first?
That's
and
so
then he was
funny.
like, you remembered how good I am at opening things.
Oh my
Like,
God.
and
I do love Lego. Lego is really good at that.
I just love Lego in general. The games, the shows, the
That is
product
really
that
funny.
I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on.
Yeah, they have already got some money out of me in video game format and Kylo Ren format.
Yes, but I think we're going a little off topic, talking about Lego Star Wars.
Listen, who cares?
It's all Star Wars. Mr. or Mrs. or they viewer, you tuned in to hear some Star Wars, right? You're hearing some Star Wars.
Yes, you're hearing Star Wars no matter what. The next deleted scene is Search for R2-D2, and I thought it was kind of meh, but it was a little funny, but it was like kind of like meh.
I think it was funny because I never noticed that it's 3PO driving the land speeder. And
It
it's
is
like,
weird.
Yo, he's hauling it, dude. Look at him
It
go.
is weird. I think it was like a good moment of like Star Wars comedy because it was like calm comedy, I guess.
Yeah,
so
it
it
takes
was-
itself seriously, but it's ridiculous.
Right, exactly. And it is funny that he was driving. Honestly, I've blocked it out of my memory.
It's a cursed image.
It's a cursed image of 3PO being allowed to drive anything.
And then
me-
when they're going to Mos Eisley, he's just sitting on the back, and he's like, I have my driver's license.
Right.
I know how to ride this. Why am I in the
Yeah.
back?
Me, every time I
I'm
get
the
on Star
robot. I
Tours,
don't get cramps
and I'm
or
like,
nothing.
3PO, please don't fly this tour bus. I don't want you to crash it. But he does. Okay. Second best one. Second best deleted scene, in my opinion. Tashi Station.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's so
it's
good.
Cool.
It's I'm not mad that it's not in the movie. I think it's cool that it is a deleted scene because it's just like, I don't know, like that like kind of little extra spicy content that you don't really need to see in the movie, but it's cool to know that it exists in the story of Luke Skywalker. It's interesting that Cammy calls him Wormy. Cammy is somebody that I've wanted to cosplay before, but I'm worried that nobody's going to know who I am.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, Star Wars denizen, and it's like, no, I'm someone.
Yeah.
Cammy, and it's like, is that the guy from Paper Mario? Like,
Right.
But I would say this scene, I feel like if it was in the movie, it wouldn't be so cool. Because the phrase is, oh, but Uncle Owen, I want to go to the Tashi station to pick up some power converters.
Mhm.
And that, alludes to Tashi station existing for us fans, and being able to see that is a really cool experience. But what if you were watching a movie and it was like, oh man, I was going to go to 7-Eleven, and then later it shows them in 7-Eleven. It wouldn't be as cool of a scene.
Yeah, it also doesn't get to justify Luke whining like he does. If we see it,
exactly. He still did it, that happens before they purchase C-3PO and R2-D2. So why didn't he pick up the power converters while he was there, showing Biggs and everybody the binocs to the battle up above?
It's a good point, and you know what? I also don't know if that maybe not justifies, but solidifies that makes Luke even more whiny, as he was already there.
Yeah, he was already there. I don't remember if Disney has said all deleted scenes are canon, except for the ones that replace distinct events.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't know.
The Tashi Station thing happened, but Han having a girl by his side didn't. Things that were completely alternate scenes aren't canon. Deleted scenes are.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting just overall. So obviously he goes and sees all of his friends. Cammy has a boyfriend, I guess. But I read somewhere that Cammy was supposed to be Luke's girlfriend. And then obviously that didn't happen. But I thought that I was going to get to see that in the deleted scene, and I didn't see that.
Yeah, I don't... It's weird, I don't get it.
Weird.
Supposed to be his girlfriend, but she's kind of like a jerk to him.
Yeah, she's so mean.
Yeah, it's just next time, get out of here. Don't bother showing your face.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, she was a little rude to him.
If my girlfriend was like that, I'd be like, you're not nice, and we have to have a conversation.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I think it's best if we take a break and then book it on my land speeder.
Yeah, really. And then So yeah, he, like you mentioned, he thought he saw a fight over Tatooine. Thought it was interesting how they made that look through the binocs. That was not, unless that was a pre-image, you know?
Yeah, like it just was like a little sparkle, just like.
Yeah, like light refraction, like.
And
Which is like,
I don't think the blasters went that far.
Yeah, and it's like, it's cool in concept, but like, wouldn't his binocs be able to see into an atmosphere to a certain extent? Like, wouldn't he be able to see better than that?
And it's like, if the binocs could see that, couldn't you just see that as much as you could see a star in the sky?
Right.
It's like, we can see satellites, and satellites are tiny.
Yeah.
When you see a Star Destroyer, I feel like you'd see, like, the smidgen of an outline, even in daylight.
Even if it's like a gray blob, not a shiny blob.
Yeah, like, it doesn't have to be shiny, it's a matte gray blob, so it's like, oh, how could you, like, I know that he says, like, oh, they're just stopping there, must be like, whatever, they must be picking up cargo, or whatever they say, I can't remember exactly, but, like, they see it, but they don't see a fight.
Right.
And that's what Luke is saying, like, oh, there's a fight up there, the sky is falling. And, and they're just like, there's no fight up there, it's just Imperial Star Destroyer, just chilling.
Yeah, it's so true.
Why would there be a fight here? Nothing happens here. Ha 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 ha.
Or Tatooine.
They just get real sad.
Yeah, they all just cry. And then Biggs talks about, like, so him and Luke are talking about, like, the Academy and then actually going to the Alliance, and then he, says, like, your
alludes
uncle...
to, like, more of the rebellion being, like, more of a thing.
Right.
I guess. Like, it just establishes a bit more rebellion.
Yeah, and it establishes the fact that, like, Luke, like, wanting to go to the Academy makes it seem like, when I first heard that, when I first watched the originals, I was like, he wants to be in the Empire? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then,
he mostly just wanted to get off of that rock. He wanted to see the galaxy.
And then acknowledging that they knew that the Rebel Alliance existed. Which
but I mean, like, nice. Han joined the Empire. He joined as a pilot.
Right. You just don't, I don't know, whenever I was thinking, like, he's Luke Skywalker, he can't want to join the Empire. Like, that's dumb. You know, like when I first saw it,
Han had the intention of just getting off the planet and eventually being able to go back to get Kira. That's why he joined. Yeah. I feel like Luke would have joined just to see that there's more out there, and he would one day, like, after graduating, he'd have his pilot's license, he might retire, get himself a little fancy shuttle, one of those Corellian-type jams, and just go. See where the galaxy takes him, find a new thing, other than just boring moisture farming and checking the seasons.
Exactly. And Big said something about, like, oh, your uncle could hold off a whole colony of sand people with just one blaster. I want to know how, and I want to know what we're missing about Uncle Owen.
Yeah, is he secretly, like, the awesome, like, badass dude of Star Wars? Like, is he the Chuck Norris of Star Wars, being able to fight off Tusken Raiders?
Like, when did we miss that? When did we know? We don't know that Uncle Owen is, excuse me, explicit word here, badass. But
yeah, like, I don't know, because this ain't his first tassel with Tusken Raiders back in Attack of the Clones when they got raided and they, like, kidnapped Shmi Skywalker or whatever. He was experiencing that. So do you think that might be something that they could be referring to? Like, do you think he killed a couple Tusken Raiders before they...
Maybe Biggs was a part of the search party? Well, no, Biggs would have been small, wouldn't he?
Wait, Biggs would have...
Because Biggs is older than Luke, but not by much, so he probably wouldn't have even been around. It could have been like
a story passed around those areas. You know, like, oh, Uncle Owen, he's cool. He led a fight against them. An entire horde of sand people. And Biggs kind of looks up to him like that, like when he was a kid, like, wow, Luke's uncle really did all of that? Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. I just thought that was interesting.
He still has a mustache. Like, he has a mustache as
He's a mustache, but he's like 7.
I was thinking more like 4.
Oh my god.
Like being able to speak English. Like, Uncle Owen is so cool, and he fights a lot of sand people, and he has a big blaster to kill the sand people.
Yeah. And he goes, and before he can finish the sentence.
Yeah. And he has a farm. It's like, and everyone's like, Okay, Biggs.
Yeah, really.
You go play with your little Skyhopper toy with Luke over there.
Yeah, really. Chaos. Okay, so that was A New Hope deleted scenes. Very good content. We love, highly recommend. Can
Delicious.
be found on Disney Plus under the movie. You go into the extras tab and they are there amongst other things. They do have lots of other cool, like,
They
extras.
have like
It's nice.
trailers, promos, but like little documentaries like this is how R2D2 was
Yeah.
made or whatever. Like there's some cute little details that you'd probably find on like the Blu-rays or whatever. But they've got they have all those that you could see available on Disney Plus. Get your Disney Plus today for only $8 a month subscription. Disney Plus, please sponsor us.
I was going to say, hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag please sponsor. I want money to buy more Disney Plus.
Yeah, if they gave us money, we could use that money to buy more Disney and Star Wars things. Okay, next.
Before we continue,
Yes, what's up?
sorry for cutting you off.
No, you're fine.
But at this moment, it's only a few days until Galaxy's Edge merch is available at the Shop Disney Store. Now, I know this isn't a problem for you because
Well, I can't technically go, so yeah, it is.
Well, I know, but you've got like a friend there, and you could be like, "Hey, here's $400. Pick up this Legacy lightsaber, couple of the hilts, and get me a holocron while you're at it too.
Yeah.
Keep the change. Like
Put it in
you
order.
could do that, but I can't do that since I'm about like 5 more states above you. So, well, on the map.
Yeah.
I don't know, spatially. But the fact of the matter is, you know your boy for Christmas is gonna treat himself to a couple Galaxy's Edge Legacy sabers and some holocrons and stuff.
As you
Definitely some
should.
Jedi robe, as I should, because my girlfriend and I, we've been like looking into getting some like good fighting sabers, and yeah, they go for like $600 for the best of the best, but like Legacy lightsabers I heard are pretty good when you smack them like, not like brutal, like hit them against like concrete, but you know, if you're just whacking the glow rods together.
Yeah, I haven't had an issue with mine. They're pretty durable.
Do you have the mall one, right?
I have
know
a
that you
mall,
have-
and then I have a make your own.
Yeah, you have a make your own. I'm saying, like, I can't buy a Doc Ondar saber, but I can most certainly get Luke's or Mace Windu's or Ahsoka's. I think I'm going to save up for Ahsoka, because those white blades are just so cool, and I already
Yeah.
have my double-bladed Black Series.
My goal is to get Ahsoka's and then the other half of Darth Maul's. I only have one half of Darth Maul's.
Yeah, does it come with a connector, like, with them?
I don't know. So, like, my individual one did not, but I'm assuming that if I tell them, again, this is an assumption, I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming if I say, hey, I have the other half, can I get a connector? It would come with the other one that I get. You know what I'm saying?
I think I remember Rexing around talking about it. Like, they say, like, for an extra $5, they'll give you the little
Right.
piece that'll connect it.
Yeah.
But, with my Darth Maul lightsabers, they both came with connectors, so I just have, like, an extra one, and I'm just like, I wonder if this is compatible
Yeah,
with
I don't
the
know.
Galaxy's Edge lightsaber. And
What
that's kind of
company-
why I'm still holding on to it, and if not, I'll use it as some greebling for a gonk droid.
True, exactly, yes. Listen, I have a fun fact for you. It's not really a fun
I love
fact,
facts.
it's slightly an embarrassing fact. It took me 2 years to know what a greebling was.
Really?
I
Well,
just was like, I saw it everywhere and I never thought to look up the definition. And then I was just like, yeah, that's what that is. And I like knew what it was visually, but I didn't know that there was a real definition for it and that it like meant something.
yeah, when
I
I was a
found it
kid, I was a big Lego builder, but believe it or not. And, who could imagine? So, I was a big Lego builder, and I always incorporated little greeblings into my custom Lego starships, because, you know, my Lego Death Star had my Lego Star Destroyer, my Lego Tantive 4, and I was like, I like all these little details where you get all these little rods, bent pieces, and just make it look real cool. It's that. If anybody listening doesn't know what greebling is, it's adding parts to a object to make it look a bit more science fiction-y. So, like, just imagine if the Millennium Falcon was smooth. It wouldn't look as good if the Millennium Falcon was smooth. But it has all these little pipes and vents and little cubes and stuff looking out of it. There's a really good image.
Yeah. Or even just, like, on helmets and stuff, right?
Yeah, like...
That's mostly where I found it.
Like, my Stormtrooper helmet has little vocoders in the chin, and they have little vents on the ears and stuff. Like, little things like that add a little bit of detail. The chest buttons, or the tummy buttons that are on the Stormtrooper... Tummy buttons, like... or belly buttons. Belly buttons! Aw, that's cute!
That's funny.
But, the way I found out about Greebling was with the 501st. Mm-hmm. We were working on a Gonk droid, but as a prop that could be used as a donation bucket.
That's cool.
It had a shower grate on the top that we carved like a specific hole into to put some change into, and it goes to a Home Depot bucket on the bottom. Mm-hmm. That was like fastened in there with some grips.
I love that.
And one of our friends came back. He like works. I don't remember what exactly it is, but it's like a company that dismantles vehicles and tries to recycle the parts. Like it's like a scrap shop.
Yeah.
And they've taken apart stuff for like the military as well. So they have like little jet parts and stuff, like car parts that just don't work anymore. And they're just like, yeah, just slap that on there. Has a little tote of them, and he just drops them on the table. Get your super glue and just put that on the big tote, stacked on another tote.
I'm sorry, what was that sound again? Nice.
That's the sound of something getting super glued onto a surface.
Yes. Exactly. Alright, so we are now in Empire Strikes Back territory of deleted scenes. These are alright.
Yeah.
I feel like they made good decisions.
Now that you said it, I'm just like...
Yeah, they made good decisions not keeping any of these, really.
They're just a little too... But we'll get into it.
Yeah. Alternative Han and Leia kiss. So I said this to Brody before we started recording, but, like, some of these scenes with Han and Leia that got deleted are, like, a little spicy. A little risque. Not even risque. Just, like, the mannerisms of it. That, like, the longer they held on to the tension that they were creating, the worse it got, if that makes sense.
Yeah, when my mom and we were both building my Lego Cantina, we watched New Hope, we were like, Empire Strikes Back? And we were like, yeah, Empire Strikes Back. And, like, halfway through it, my mom was like, yeah, Han's kind of being a little, like, toxic in this one. Like, a little bit of toxic masculinity in here. And I was like, yeah, it's making me real uncomfortable, because he's always like, don't worry about it, sweetheart. And it's like, stop calling her sweetheart. Come on, she deserves more respect than that.
Yeah. There's, like, a fight.
It gave me the willies.
It's this one, yeah. So, like,
they fight a little bit, and then it's just like, oh, well, let me, kiss you now. And it's just like, yeah, it's, like, weird, like, manipulative? Like, I don't know if that's the right word, because eventually Han and Leia do become, like, a good relationship.
Right.
He did kind of leave Ben.
Yeah. I would call it less manipulative and more,
I wouldn't call it charismatic either.
No. There's a word, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Devilish, like, Jedi mind trick.
Jedi mind tricking. God. I can't think of the word. It's somewhere between manipulative and, like, not necessarily trying to be, but, like, not necessarily trying to be manipulative, but also, like, being pushy. Like, too pushy.
Yeah. Pushy and manipulative, even combined, like, the little gray line between both is still not that okay.
It's not good. It's like, the only reason I say I wouldn't use the word manipulative is simply because, like, he doesn't have necessarily, like, outside of, like, kissing her and, like, dating her, he doesn't have, like, an ulterior motive that is, like, detrimental to her. It's just that, like, he's being pushy and she's saying no, and that's not okay. That is lack of consent in Star Wars.
we support women having a voice and men to back off.
Backing up.
But also, it's also not exclusive to either or. It just isn't as prevalent, I don't believe. There are still some men who say no,
and it's just like,
and women who keep getting pushy.
Yeah, and like to this situation, it's relevant of like Han needed to back off.
To this situation, it's relevant, but I'm just saying we don't support Han Solo's pushiness. We're not. We don't advocate.
No pushy men. No thank
just
you.
Because
no
he's
pushing
a handsome
anybody.
smuggler that is the father of one of the most handsome Star Wars characters of all time. Like,
Spicy.
My goodness. Doesn't give him the right to be that crappy.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't
exactly.
give him the right to be that funky, and I could
be a good guy and have
got rid of
handsome
it.
babies.
Yeah, like wonderful children you can have, but then again, he did slaughter villages and
Yeah.
He didn't kill the Jedi though. He didn't kill the Jedi. That was Palpatine controlling some lightning.
I got a platypus
but...
controlling me. I got a platypus.
I've got a platypus controlling me.
Yeah, that's Kylo, but with Palpatine.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a Palpatine controlling me.
I've got a Palpatine controlling me.
Oh my god, ridiculous! Wow, that's so funny. Okay.
It's like the same alliteration or like the same amount of syllables.
Yeah.
But have you seen the Star Wars Phineas and Ferb special?
No, I keep thinking about watching it. I never really liked Phineas and Ferb, to be fair. I have seen it and didn't hate it, but I never sought it out either. So I have thought about it.
At first, when I was watching it, I was like, I kind of don't like this because Phineas and Ferb is very musical. They have a lot of musical things. Like, each episode has a new song. Mm-hmm. So it was very, musical in the Star Wars sense. But those, as seen in the past, that really doesn't go well.
Fair enough.
Like the holiday special.
Yeah.
But it was really funny because it was the same concept as the Robot Chicken. It's fans that know what they're doing, and they know how to be funny because the fans get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's some of the humor is oh, so that's why that happened. That's funny because it correlates. Instead of the Family Guy special where they're Star Wars characters.
Yeah. I have seen
Phineas and Ferb are beside the characters. They're in the background.
Yes.
As it's going on.
I do enjoy stuff like that.
It's very cute, and it's it's very charming if you ever are on a rainy day and there's nothing to watch.
Yeah, me all the time.
Exactly.
All right, so kind of the alternate kiss going into this extended scene of their argument on Echo Base. He also yelled at her about I could have helped you be a woman instead of just a princess, and I was like, hold on. Hold on.
It's both a hem and a gag.
Yeah, it's
it sounds like what Tim Allen says in Home Improvement.
That's so funny.
That's the sound I made. I made the Tim Allen.
Yeah, I was kind of pissed, for lack of a better word. I was like, excuse you?
Han, you're losing some major bro points here.
Yeah. Also, first of all, so glad that didn't make the cut. Second of all,
absolutely.
God
bless.
How, I want to know what the conversation was. Was there a woman in the room that was no? Was there a man in the room that was no? Or were they just oh, this is too long? Because if they didn't acknowledge the problematic position that caused...
I don't know if we're supposed to say it, censor me if you do, but the sexism, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just ugh, yucky, yucky,
right.
yucky. And if it got cut out because it was too long, then I don't feel as good about it. I'm glad that it's not in it, period.
Right, I'll be a little mad
still. If it was if George Lucas was no, it's too long, instead of, no, that's very misogynistic and sexist, and we should get rid of this.
Yeah.
If that wasn't the decision, I'd be rightfully pissed too.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little angry.
I'd be pretty angry.
I need to know the details of what the decision was behind that, but nevertheless, I'm glad that it didn't make it. Moving on. Hiding in the asteroid scene was cool to see. Again, irrelevant. Parts of it
Yeah,
like,
just
parts of dialogue
kinda
and things made
happened.
sense. Yeah, it was just kind of like, let's look at these different angles and dialogue options and acting options based on this scene. So that was cool. I love anytime I get to see Carrie Fisher acting, it's great. But
Yeah, exactly. More Carrie, more love, but maybe not when she's being told to be a woman
yeah,
instead of being, an awesome, badass military general
Yeah.
toting up arms.
ridiculous. And then we get into, like, some Luke and Leia stuff, which is also, again, just, like, strange. And I have a theory behind all of this that I'll get into in a minute. But Leia is tending to Luke in the next deleted scene. And basically she's, like, tending to him. You hear some, like, direction from behind the scenes. And
whoever was behind the board. It wasn't...
Yeah.
I think Spielberg worked on Return of the Jedi, but it was another guy.
Kirshner
that
was
did.
the director of Empire Strikes Back, but I don't know if he
Who?
was the one talking. Irvin Kershner.
Irvin Kershner, yeah. That could have been him, but it kind
Mhm.
of sounds like the same guy that was giving the directions in all the movies.
Yeah, right,
So it
right.
could have just
Like
could have
a
been a guy with
producer
a megaphone while
someone.
Kershner's just sitting in the back, like, get rid of the gross man stuff.
Yeah, I hope he said that. So, and then they kiss again. And I was just like, okay, so this was, like, supposed to be an extended thing. Gross.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving. And again, I'll readdress this in a minute, but, we'll the next one is quick. Lobot gets captured. Cool scene to watch. Glad it didn't make it.
Can I say something about the
course.
Leia tending to Luke scene?
Yes, of course.
The reason I think they got rid of it, or I hope they got rid of it, is I feel like they didn't want to portray Leia as, like, this, like, manhandle, like, oh, every guy I kiss because, oh, I'm a woman and I gotta kiss every man
Yeah.
that I see. And it's like, no, you don't.
I do hope that was a good a thought process behind it, or that, and, like, the, like, thought of, like, she has to tend to them. Like, no, she doesn't. There's this sounds so rude, but there's droids for that. Like,
Yeah, there's literal medical droids. Help, C-3PO probably knows, like, a protocol or two. If in the comics, R2, like, the one that just got released, like, a month ago, R2-D2 has his little electric prod, and he performs, like, CPR, or, like, the
Yeah,
clear.
yeah.
He, like, shocks him
The
back to
AED.
life to
Wow.
reset his heart. Like, he does that. R2 could probably heal some stuff,
Yeah.
has a little blowtorch, could cauterize
Cauterize
the wound
it.
or whatever. Well, it probably would have already been cauterized by the lightsaber, but
But still.
must at least have some kind of, like, healing
Ability.
foam like they do in Halo 3,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Master droids are helpful.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, it's an interesting concept to, like, see these and then know why they would be deleted in our eyes versus maybe what they were really deleted for. Luke and Leia in the medical center. So again, this part is kind of what ties into my thoughts on the first one. They're being kind of flirty. It's a little gross. I wrote blech in my notes.
Blech.
Blech.
If I had notes, I'd write that too.
And I wrote prequel kids know. So, as a prequel child, I already knew that Luke and Leia were brother and sister. So, going into the original trilogy, I knew that there was a kiss that happened. But then, watching these deleted scenes, I was like, ugh. Like,
they did it
because
a
even if
lot.
I knew, as an audience member, they already knew because they wrote it. They
Yeah,
wrote it.
Well, it was not a planned thing until after the movie.
Still
After Empire
weird.
Strikes Back, Vader was planned to be the father,
Right.
and there was going to be a different Skywalker, but then they were like, well, what if it was Leia? That'd be pretty mind-blowing.
That's so
But-
stupid. I mean, it's not
Like-
stupid, obviously, but like,
I
what?
dropped my
Oh my
glasses
God,
case.
chaos.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, that helps me a little bit, but still.
Still, if
My brain was
all
like,
of these scenes,
"Ugh."
if all these scenes were still kept in the movie, a lot of people would think
Yeah.
that Leia is some kind of like man-haver, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Ugh.
don't portray Leia like that. You already
No.
did her dirty enough in the slave Leia outfit.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? I do love excuse me that I keep clearing my throat.
No, I get that.
That she was like,
Sorry
like-
that I keep having this nervous tick with my nose. It's probably
okay.
glaring.
I can't even tell.
It's like an occasional like.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
just literally have, so after you eat, you get phlegm. I'm sorry, that's a lot
Oh yeah,
TMI
yeah.
for everybody listening, but like, you do, and I'm not wrong.
I
so.
did have a Chipotle burrito today, and I was a little groggy when I first.
Yeah.
I had it for lunch though, so I'm fine though.
Yeah, I just.
Water is important.
Exactly. Look at this.
There
It's got
it is.
Smokey Bear on it.
And mine is blue.
Wow, that's so nice though. I want a bigger
Yeah.
one. Like, I have lots of other big water bottles, but this one was nice for here.
I got this one at Costco. I got this bottle at Costco. It was like a 2-pack. It's the
Oh,
thermo flask.
How
It's
much
like a
is it?
bootleg hydro flask. It was like $20 for both of them.
Oh.
That's like if you're a Costco member, I don't know.
I'm not, but that's a good deal. What was I even saying?
Yeah, we lost track. This has become the deleted scenes, feminism, and water bottle conversation.
Yeah, Kessler on Weekly deleted
podcast.
scenes. And then we also kind of hear him. Oh, I was saying like that I really liked that she had this whole like moment of like, I need to remember not to depend on anybody but myself. And like, while that's incorrect because of the like great relationship that she builds with people, I think it added something to Leia's character in that moment of watching the deleted scenes of like, she recognizes that these moments that she's having with these men are stupid.
Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty good. I think she is practically the leader of the rebellion now. She's pretty in charge. Other than like Mon Mothma, I have no idea.
I think she always
But-
has a little step above her.
I don't know if she's like head honcho rebellioso, but it's I definitely think that she puts a lot on herself because she's like, all of these people are depending on me. I can't be silly right now. I have to be important. I have to be strong. I have to fight.
Yeah.
I have to be independent. Like, I can't let other people get to me because I gotta be there for everybody else.
Right, exactly. Fate of General Veers is another deleted scene that's just kind of like short. It really didn't even make it into. It seems like it didn't even make it into post because it's like what you said. Like it's like imagery and then a big light and then we see the animation of the art itself.
Yeah, we see the storyboard cartoon.
Yes, and the walker literally just gets blown up and that's it. And
Yeah, like it just doesn't have a head, and then its arms go like Squidward's legs.
Yeah, or like Baymax when he goes ba la 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 la.
What was it? Harry baby. Harry.
Yeah.
God, it's been a while since
I
I've seen
love that movie.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I have. I'm not gonna say I have mixed feelings on the movie. I love the movie, but the circumstance in which I watched it were unfortunate. Because I was in a bad place at the time,
and that's a tough
so
movie
it was
to
like
watch.
it was a big bummer.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it was when I found out that someone I knew had a Pokemon voice actor for an uncle. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
That's cool. That's nice.
Yeah.
A tiny light in the end of the tunnel.
The little tiny light at the tunnel, that kind of
Yeah.
gave me hope and made me want to become a voice actor again, and then I stopped and cried.
Yes.
And now we're
Me
here.
every day.
Every day
fine.
I've
Every
cried
day.
thinking, I want to be a voice actor.
Yeah. Me every day thinking, I swear I'm going to school to be a screenwriter. I know I can do it. I'm gonna do it, and then crying anyway.
We should collab to show off our skills.
Yes.
I've been working on a Star Wars story
Yes.
that I want to make a stop motion.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's.
I'm
get your guy and I get my guy.
I'll talk to my people and you talk to your people, and then our people will talk to each other.
Yeah, like we are now.
Like we are currently.
We are. This is it currently.
We are our own people, and we are talking to each other currently. I was gonna say something about my writing, and then I was gonna say something about the deleted scene, and my brain was like,
Well, let's focus on the deleted scene.
Yeah.
Now. Let's get back to it.
The Wampa attacks is the next one. It's just like, so in one of the deleted scenes from before, Leia, when she was like, I depend on myself. I should depend on myself. She's like, I'd better get more loyalty from those ice monsters down the hall. And he's like, what the heck? Luke was like, what the heck? And then we find out.
Like the scene like turns and you see like a little ice wall and you just see a little hand and go.
And you're like, uh-oh.
For like way too long.
Yeah, the animatronic Wampa
like
is too
10
much.
seconds.
It's
like, that's
too
way
much.
too long.
And then it's like, so then there's like some throwing things around and whatnot. And then you hear whoever in the background being like, all right, and come on forward, or Wampa. And then the Wampa walks into the scene and it's just like straight out of a zombie movie.
It's so dopey looking, like it doesn't, like its head is so sunken. It kind of looks like, imagine like a home cosplay of an albino Sully from Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
It looks really bad. It's like that meme where he has like that weird face, like Sully with that weird face, but just imagine like pure white fur. And it's just
exactly.
like, it doesn't like move its arms, it walks around like a toy soldier at the Disney parade.
There to be in the way. The last deleted scene for Empire Strikes Back is Yoda's test. It's really not that.
Wait. We didn't mention
what?
One of the best things that I wish, like one of the only scenes that I wish did go into like Star Wars.
Which one?
Was when the snowtroopers are invading Echo Base, and C-3PO is running down a hall and sees the little warning sticker, and it just goes, rips it off, just like simply like, what? Like he doesn't even like, he does it kind of like charmingly, like, ha-ha!
Yeah.
And runs away with it. And then when the stormtrooper or the snowtrooper knocks on the door and it opens, a giant Wampa hand just grabs him by the skull and throws him in the room.
Yeah, it's
and
amazing.
What the other snowtrooper is like, close the door, and then it closes, and then Darth Vader just like looks at him like, "You serious? Did you guys just seriously do this?
Did you really? What's going on?
You guys are morons."
Yeah.
Right, bye. And
he's
the
like,
stormtroopers are just like, dude, we're really in for it now. We just let Tony in there, man.
What are we gonna tell Tony's friends? We are Tony's friends.
Which, two things about that. One, that concept became a Galaxy... Wait.
Galaxy of Adventures?
Is it Galaxy of Adventures?
Mm-hmm. The YouTube one?
That's the one where it's styled like an anime. Forces of Destiny. Forces of Destiny. It was the first one that had Leia.
Yes.
And it was that R2 went into a room and there was a Wampa in it, and she, like, took down the Wampa.
Oh my god, Leia did?
Yeah, of course Leia did. You think she didn't?
I mean, with what?
A blaster, of course, or something like that. Or she, like, hit some rocks, or, like, some ice rocks that were clumped to the top of the cave wall and just crumbled down on, and she saved R2D. I'd say, like, you know, what Dum Dum said about how it's bad, it really isn't. They're cute short stories that talk about some of the iconic characters in Star Wars.
I love all of those. Galaxy of Adventures and Forces of Destiny. They're nice.
Exactly. Galaxy of Adventures are kind of like rehashes, just in a cool art style, which I really enjoy.
And I like it. And they're good for kids to learn. Also, this is Kessel Run Weekly featuring the neighborhood ice cream truck in my apartment complex.
I heard that. I didn't know if somebody was like listening. Oh God, you made me in the mood because it's only in our town. There's this one ice cream guy that serves like Italian ices, and the best one that he serves is rainbow flavor, and it's every single flavor except for chocolate because it's supposed to be all fruity. Mm-hmm. It's every fruit flavor combined into this beautiful cascading rainbow swirl, and it's delicious because one bite, mango, another bite, strawberry, another bite, cherry. It's like, you know, it all is like, you'll
magical.
Never be disappointed.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. That does sound amazing. I've never gotten ice cream from this truck, but if you guys could see it, you would know why. But it comes through.
Is it like one of those shady ones?
Yeah, it comes through every day. I'm an adult now. I probably could. It would be fine, you know.
Yeah, you know, like.
But, and I also don't need ice cream truck ice cream because I am an adult now, and I could go buy my own ice cream.
That's like the thing, you know, when you become an adult, and money, like little things like that, like you were always so nervous, like can I get a Kit Kat while you're at the 7-Eleven, like, to your parents? It's like, no, not this time. Like, I don't have enough money. And then you're just like, dude, I literally found like $3 on the floor because I'm an adult and I could like sense my environment better.
Also, like,
I'm gonna go buy me a Kit Kat.
Yeah. Also, like, the concept of my parents ever telling me, "Sorry, hun, we don't have enough money for a Kit Kat." It's a lie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a darn
it's
lie.
Like, well, you just don't want me eating all these sugars.
Yeah.
When I'm 20 and depressed, I'll eat all the sugar. It's like.
Yeah.
It's like when I was a kid, when I was at like the Chuck E. Cheese as a kid and I ran out of skee balls. I was like, man, now I can't play skee ball because I don't have any more tokens and I don't want to bother my parents.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, whatever, I'll just drop $20. I have like income. It's like, it's not disposable income, but I've got income.
Right,
it's
just like,
put
well,
that into another round of skee ball.
Yeah, it's like, I got paid today, my bills don't come out until next week, I'm gonna use them today. Like,
exactly.
Bad decision making.
Well,
for any of the kids under 18 or not making their own current income, please do not listen to this advice.
Or not paying bills.
We are not financial advisors.
I always pay my bills on time.
Yeah.
I don't even pay my bills when they come in, like credit card debt. I don't even bother with that because I feel like I shouldn't say this on a podcast, but I mostly carry cash.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So now people are going to try to find me and steal my wallet because they know I have cash in it. But,
me. It's me. I am people.
Only use my card for either, like, big purchases or if I'm low on money and I'm, like food or something, like I just need a quick meal, I just use my card at the McDonald's or whatever.
That's the best way to do it.
And as soon as I get home, like the minute I get home, I log into my bank and I pay the bill. I'm not going to sit on that. I'm not going to wait. And I would only use my card if I've got the money.
Yeah.
I would never do anything if I didn't have the money.
It's the best way to get credit without getting into debt. That's
exactly.
The thing.
Like,
because I am very much in debt.
to all those kids that parents sit their kids in front of, go onto the Spotify playlist, the Google, what is it, Music? Google Music, is it?
Google Play Store?
Google Play.
I don't know.
What we also put the show on.
Oh, Google, Apple, Spotify, Podbean.
Apple, yeah, we do all that, podcast or whatever. I lost it.
What?
I swear to God, I lost it. Come on. Money,
Money, finances, bills.
Finances. This is gonna be great for our audience. They're waiting with us and they're just like, what were they saying? They would probably have figured it out by now. Because they could replay, but we can't replay.
Yeah. Well, listen, when I listen to podcasts and I know what they're talking about, but they can't find the right words, I start yelling. I'm like, it's this.
I know. I get so angry. It's this show. It's this movie.
Yeah.
I know the movie they're talking about.
Yeah, it's so funny. So I apologize to anybody that's currently feeling that way.
Yes, but I was saying, I remember what I was saying. To all the kids that are
Mm-hmm.
listening, that they get sat in front of whatever format you listen to this podcast on, finances are important. They should teach them more in school. So I would suggest openly looking into how to manage finances better, how to really research that, because they do not teach that in school.
Nope.
They do not
Talk
teach
to
that
your parents
in school.
about
Ask
it.
your parents. Exactly. Ask your parents.
Learn about how to buy a house.
Learn how to buy a house. Learn how to finance something. Learn how to maintain a budget.
Learn how to balance your life, because let me tell you something. Listen, we're going to have story time with Cheyenne. Buckle up. It's going to be short, but I did 25,000 things when I was a kid. So I cheered, I danced, I rode horses, I played volleyball, I played basketball, I was in band. Not all of those things were done at the same time.
What were you also, president, an astronaut, a fireman?
So I didn't do all of those at the same time, but I did at least 3 at the same time, plus my outside of school stuff like 4-H. Riding horses was outside of school.
How old were you, would you say?
When I started doing everything together, I was probably 10. I cheered, danced, and rode horses
so this
at
was
10.
more at your parents' expense.
Yeah. No, all of this was at my parents' expense. But as far as balancing my time, as a child, I didn't have any concept of that because I spent all my time doing all these quote unquote fun things. And now as an adult, I try to do so many things and I'm exhausted and in pain and poor. because I want to
You
do
see-
so many things. So just, like, make sure you balance your time. Find those things that you really love and make them a priority.
Exactly. Like, you know the saying, it's like, if you work a job that you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
That could go the same way for, like, living your life.
Yes.
Give yourself time to enjoy yourself. There's nothing wrong with sitting down and playing a video game for an hour, clear a dungeon
Exactly.
in Skyrim,
Yes.
or catch a Pokemon, you know, go
Watch some
outside.
TikTok.
Yeah, watch a TikTok, whatever. Tic-tac.
A Tic-Tac.
Eat a Tic-Tac.
Eat a Tic-Tac, watch a TikTok.
Yeah. Watch a Tic-Tac, eat a TikTok.
Change
You
your
never know.
iOS 14 wallpapers.
Exactly, because they're
That
very
takes so
old
long.
and very strangely formatted. I feel the same pain.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's a balance between fun and responsibility. But here's the thing. Responsibility can be fun as long as you find... It's like Mary Poppins. With every
Yeah.
job that needs to be done, there's an element of
It's
fun.
And when you find the fun,
You find the fun, snap. The job's gained.
Oh my
And
god,
exactly,
we're so
You
annoying.
have to... just two Disney nerds just
We're so
preaching.
annoying.
You have much more Disney nerd liberties than
I
me because
love
you're
it.
quite literally Disney.
It's fine.
That's why I
Wow.
want to work at Disney to be like, no, I'm the cool.
I-
No, I'm as cool as Cheyenne.
am Disney.
I am.
But I do not speak
No.
for the brand or the company.
I am Disney. No.
You should yell Disney like he yells Kenobi.
Oh, like Maul.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Disney. Disney.
Our poor listeners are like, oh my god!
You should interject like a, hi, this is post-production Cheyenne. Just telling you to turn down your volume.
This is your 10
One.
second warning.
Yeah, this is your warning. Don't say that we didn't warn you, and we are not liable for your ear surgery. Thank you very much. My throat, it feels like I just swallowed a cactus like a seagull swallows hot dogs.
Yeah,
Have you
that
ever seen
voice
that
break
video?
was crazy. It was real
Yeah.
good though, if that helps.
I hope it sounded good. I've been trying to work on my screaming. It's so stupid too.
That's so
because-
funny.
Sorry that we're going off so
That's
much.
alright.
Not
We only
talking
have one
about
more
the
movie to
subject.
talk about. It's all good.
Exactly, it's just one movie. When I come home from work, and I'm driving. It's about like a 15-minute drive or whatever,
Mhm.
from my place of work to my house, and I often test out my voice acting chops because I'm alone. I turn off the
Right.
radio and I just try to practice with my vocal range.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, do you ever, when you're driving, if you're driving to work or you're driving to someone's house, if you're driving anywhere and you see someone on the phone and they're sporadically like, ah, da, 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 ah, ba, ba, da, da, like moving their hands and shit,
Yeah.
like, stuff like that. That's me too, but I'm just like screaming at myself. Like I give myself like a character to do.
Yeah.
And like as soon as I get in my car, I'm like, like I do all my vocal ranges, and then I'm just like, the next port that you need to venture to is down by the Horizon Tavern. Like I just try to make myself a character that I've established,
Yeah.
and even characters that like pre-exist. Like of course I've tried Maul. I've done like
Yeah.
Bosk in my car.
You should
But-
do the Avatar characters.
Avatar characters.
Avatar: The Last Airbender and Korra.
Yeah, but have I? Are you saying that that I do something? Because I don't know if
I think you could. No, I think you have a lot
I
of
can.
ability
I
to
feel
like do
like-
General Iroh and probably Ozai. Probably Aang.
No, not Aang. Aang is like he's way too high pitched for me.
I bet you
can't-
could do it.
Maybe like an older Aang, like Korra. Here I am, Avatar Aang.
Yeah.
But or it's like I was an Avatar, quite like you, or something like that.
Yeah.
But Iroh, Mako. When I try to do a Mako voice,
Mhm.
I do Aku from Samurai Jack. Like it's like long ago in a distant land, I, Aku, shape-shifting master of darkness,
Wow.
unleashed an unspeakable evil. Like have that kind.
That's
of...
really good. Let me see if I can
And
find this one.
And I could be like, more tea? Oh, yes. Fire, or like, Prince Zuko, you must control yourself
Oh my god.
in the face of danger.
That's
It's
really
like,
good.
I don't care about it. Like, that sounded more like Luke Skywalker.
No, but
I don't care about your tea.
that's still
Like,
real
that's-
good.
And then Ozai, he's like, I am the Fire King. Like that Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I was
My
gonna say,
favorite-
I was so surprised that Mark Hamill was Ozai instead of Iroh. Like, I feel like he should have been Iroh. Like, he did fine at Ozai, obviously, but I feel like Mark Hamill's voice is very, like, old
does
man
have-
gritty. And then
He
Ozai
does
was
have
still
that,
young.
But I feel like Mako, you could not have done better because he has like that such like everyone knows me because I am your best friend.
Yeah.
I sound like a combination of Obi-Wan and I sound like if Obi-Wan smoked and was Japanese.
Yeah.
or is Mako Chinese? I can't
I
remember.
don't know.
Forgive me for sounding not cultural.
Not. It's okay. Can you do Mark Chang?
Greetings, puny humans! It is I, Mark Chang, proud prince of Yugopotamia.
From
yes.
Fairly Odd Parents?
From Fairly Odd Parents, like, Yugopotamia!
Yeah.
Here I am! Coming right at you! Let me tell you a story!
Yeah.
Somewhere like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Cowabunga, dude!
Yeah.
Totally tubular! Let's go kick that shredhead!
That's so
You know, like-
funny. Anyways.
But my favorite voice to do in the car, which I was leading to, was like Reptilian / Bosk.
Oh my
Because
God.
I don't want to do specifically Bosk, because like say if I ever get hired to play like another Trandoshan or something
Right.
like that, I don't want it to be an exact replica of Bosk.
Yeah.
So there's like time to hunt, and I try to do like a
Yeah.
time to hunt.
Ooh.
I must find my prey.
Ew.
Try to like add some kind of weird like gargle or snarl.
Yeah.
No way to the degree that D. Bradley Baker does.
No, but that was very good.
when-
It made me get
When
all
he does
good.
he does like a I'm going to fill your lungs with dioxin. Like he does like a weird
Ew.
like a roll with the
Yeah,
tongue.
because he's like all slithery.
Dioxin.
Slithery. Idiot.
But that could even sound like some cool like guy like, so you want something from me? You're gonna have to get it. Like, you know, it's like Solid Snake if he was a little bit higher.
Right.
Colonel, I'm trying to get past the guards, but I'm dummy thick.
Oh my god.
The
It's
original
Brody, but he
meme.
breaks character every time he does a reptile voice.
Exactly. It's like, Boba, I'm trying to kill Solo, but I'm dummy thick.
Oh my god.
My dioxis canisters are alerting the Chewbacca.
Good lord. That's amazing. It is very good, though. It's very impressive. I'm always impressed
Thank
by
you.
your
I really
voice
try to
abilities.
give myself an expansive range.
Yeah.
I do goofy voices. Like, my girlfriend can vouch for me. Whenever I'm just, like, around, sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I should pick up this. Like, I just do stupid,
Yeah.
mundane voices out of nowhere. I'm just like,
Sometimes you gotta, because that just keeps you on your toes, you know?
it keeps you on your toes. You can never get still with it. It's like, you know, basketball players, they always have to go to basketball practice. They
Yeah.
might lose their touch.
Yeah.
Or chefs, they gotta cook all the time, or else they're like, what kind of knife do I use?
Yeah. Yeah. Alright,
Okay,
let's
so
jump
enough
into...
about us talking about how awesome we are.
Exactly. Let's talk about Return of the Jedi.
Yes, please. One of my favorites.
Yeah, it is a really good one.
It's a great one.
So, the first one is the Battle of Endor, the Lost Rebels. It's a lot of, like, pilot talk and pilot chatter, and you hear, like,
Yeah.
basically production in the background giving them their lines, and then they're saying it. And there's a lot of lady pilots, which made me proud and happy.
Yeah, because there was not a lady pilot until, like, there was a lady pilot in The Force Awakens, I'm pretty sure, but
Yes.
they didn't give one for the original trilogy until Rogue One.
Right, yes.
And that's when the news outlets were like, a female pilot!
Ooh.
It's like when people were like, Rey is the first female Jedi, and it's like,
yeah.
show the list of Ahsoka.
Right, and it's like,
Sakura.
actually, first
And it's-
lead character,
or when
but thank
people
you.
were saying L337 was the first female droid. No.
People really just don't know what they're talking
They
about.
don't do their research.
No.
It's all clickbait. People don't do as much research, especially when it
Also,
comes to Star
like,
Wars. So
Stop making
Dedicate your life.
things like that headlines because it's not something to be proud of. This
yeah, like,
should have already
it-
happened. We are behind in where we should be.
and what should be done is don't make it such a big deal, because if you're saying that, you're making it sound like it's something against the status quo.
Right.
When by keeping it to yourself, or like, you know, not making such a big deal out of it, just like, oh, she's a cool fighter, and like just leaving it at that, then it's like, cool, you're making it normalized.
Right.
When it's like, female character, driven with awesomeness and very unique style and has never been seen before. It's like, stop making it as big as a deal as it is. Yes,
Right.
it's something that isn't as common nowadays.
Right.
But to make it more common, you shouldn't make it seem
Just act like it's normal. It is
a-
normal. It needs to be
because
normal.
eventually, with that oversaturation, it'll become a cliche,
Exactly.
and you don't want that.
We don't need that. So within this Battle of Endor deleted scene too, they also like there's this whole section. So they move on from like the pilot chatter, and then they're like doing some maintenance on the Falcon. It seems like,
Yeah,
and
there's some just random rebel dudes.
they're just like
chilling
on
in
the Falcon and like shooting and like doing little pew pew in the Falcon gunner seats. And I'm just like, who are you guys? Like, I get that you're rebels, but like
Wait a minute.
Han doesn't let
Who
everybody.
are you?
Yeah, like he doesn't let just anybody on the ship. So I want to
Yeah.
know how that happened, and I want to know is that because does Lando doesn't get the Falcon in Return of the Jedi, does he?
He flies it, but he doesn't keep it.
So maybe he brought them on to the Falcon. Maybe
like,
that's
as a
what that's
crew.
from.
But also remember in The Rise of Skywalker, there was like a small crew working on the Falcon while Poe and Finn and Chewie were flying it. There was the guy without the arms.
Yeah, but that makes sense. But Han doesn't ever have anybody else on the Falcon. So I was trying
Yeah,
to
exactly.
evaluate who was in charge
Which
at
makes
this
me
time.
think, why hasn't he had like a bigger crew before? But then again, we've
He
really
hates
only
people.
ever seen him. Actually, come to think of it, he wouldn't need a crew from what we've seen of him in the original trilogy, because he could have had a crew, and then he might have lost it,
Mhm.
and now he's at Mos Eisley trying to look for work, trying to transport people until he gets a new crew,
Right.
and then he gets wrapped up in the whole rebellion scheme.
That's true. And then at
Because-
some point, when he's old, he says like he used to have a bigger crew.
Yeah, it's like,
So-
he used to have a bigger crew.
He...
And that's something that you get to see in the Lego Star Wars games. He had a crew hunting
Oh.
Raftars.
That's
And
cool.
they all got eaten by Raftars,
Oh my god!
except for Chewie and Han.
In a Star Wars Lego game?
Yeah.
Can I
for
get that on
Lego
the
Force
Switch?
No, the Switch wasn't
Dang
out
it.
yet, but it's on PlayStation and Xbox One. But the I don't think it's for Wii U though, because that was what was out at the time.
Oh.
What was it? And with Solo, he did that with a crew. L3, Lando, Tobias, Kira. Technically,
Mm-hmm.
Lando was the one who had the Falcon, so he had a crew of Han, Chewie, Tobias, and Kira.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
So, I don't know why I say Tobias when I should just say Beckett, because that's
That's fair.
what he's most commonly referred to.
Yeah.
So, when I
That's
say
right.
Tobias, I mean Tobias Beckett,
Tobias Beckett.
Woody Harrelson, and I love him.
Yeah, a great guy.
I want him to be my best friend.
And then the last kind of thing that we see in this is General Nadine in like a weird Star Trek-y type chair, but it moves.
Yeah.
And
And he like looks off in the distance as if
Yeah, he's just-
Kirk would.
looking around a lot.
Very Will Shatner-y, dramatic, like
Yeah. I don't really love Nadine, but I think it's just because his like overall visual gives me weird vibes, but
that
obviously
he
he's
kind of looks like a bootleg Jim Henson.
maybe that's it.
A younger bootleg ripoff Jim Henson.
Yes.
Because he has the exact same beard.
Yeah, maybe that's
And
what
that's
it is.
It's a weird beard. He looks like
It is a weird
looks,
beard.
It looks like did you ever have those Halloween costumes where it was like a character's hair, but it was just a big, like, it wasn't rubber, but it was like some kind of weird, like, plasticky
yeah, I know
material.
what you mean. Yeah.
It's like the same, like latex, and it was just a latex.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a helmet.
Yeah, it looks like that, basically.
Yeah,
and then
what
we
he
move
looks
on.
Like. Sorry, Nadine.
We move on to Jirjarod's conflict.
Yeah, Jirjarod's conflict, which
cell
is
phone
my
rings.
favorite.
Yeah, it's your favorite, so you're going to lead this one. I just really want to point out that there's a cell phone ringing somewhere. And I know
so,
it's like a
someone's
cue,
got a cell phone
but...
ringing, and it's just like, curious. Or it could have just been a regular phone. I don't think cell phones were that big.
That's true. I mean, there was just like a ringing, and it seemed like it was supposed to be a part of the scene. And at the same time, I was like, I don't know, it sounds not very Star Wars-ish. But go on with why this is your favorite, please.
It really portrays that the Empire is more than just orders. You know, I always saw that the destruction of Alderaan was very heartless, cruel. And how can an empire be constructed off of such morals of heartlessness and cruelty? There must be some form of humanity embedded within it, because this is still the Republic. It just became the Galactic Empire.
Right.
So, when, in this scene, Palpatine is like, as intimidation for Luke, he's like, what is he? Is he a commander? Or a captain?
Captain.
We're just gonna say commander.
I don't know.
Commander Jirjarod. Like, prepare all weapons to fire on the Endor moon.
It's like, but sir, we still have battalions down there. It's like,
aim the laser at the moon now.
and it's just like, it will be done, Your Highness. And when everything is ready and they're like clocking it in, you can see him kind of like, I really don't want to do this. This is so like bad. I can't do this. Like, you could tell that there's a bit of an internal conflict.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see because it paints the picture of the Empire being more than just a heartless, galactic corporation or something,
Yeah.
Like, there are actual people in these officer uniforms within these stormtrooper outfits, like yours truly. And it's interesting to see that. And
Yeah, it is.
when they're like, sir, like, we're in firing position. And then he's like staring at it, like looking, like considering.
Yeah, he's
like,
hesitating.
Sir, we're in firing position. And then it's like, so sorry. Like, he's like, no, go. It's like, fire. You may fire. But then everything shuts down and they can't fire.
Yeah. He's probably relieved in that moment.
Yes, but also he's kind of dead in that moment.
Yeah, that's fair.
He dies
really
shortly after.
noticed the Your Highness part of it. Like, why does he refer... Like, I guess I get why he refers to him like that, but I'm just so not used to hearing people say Your Highness, Like, they say, like, my lord, or emperor, or sir.
But he could also be
Your
like
Highness
the
is-
Highness, high-powered, high...
Yeah, but, like, I don't know.
I don't know. Don't look at me. I didn't write Star Wars.
But
All
I
right.
could, Disney.
Your next one is Rebel Raid on the Bunker. This one basically is just like them working on the different angles, which again is cool for somebody who wants to get into filmmaking, aka me.
And
So
you
that
get
was
to
fun.
see them mow down some stormtroopers.
Yeah. And you
just
get the
kinda see
popping of the
them-
guns instead of the pew pew, which is interesting. And then
Yeah.
Han calls them twits, which I think is just hilarious.
Yeah, but it just seems... It made me a little uncomfortable when I was watching it because it's just like... He's like, get out of here! Come on, move! In the corner, now! And they're placing the bombs. It made me feel kind of bad for the Empire because they're just like standing there scared while these guys are like, we're like I am the captain now, like... And it made me feel like, yeah, I can see why the Empire considers them a terrorist group.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a hard topic of conversation simply
It
because
is a hard topic of conversation, like the morality of the Empire. or
Right,
the
yeah,
morality
and
of,
I
like,
think
the
'cause
rebellion as well.
the biggest
But it
issue
just-
is like it's just like indoctrination of the stormtroopers themselves, They're only
Yeah,
told
like,
so much
exactly.
information, and so they assume these things about these other people and they don't want to learn anymore. But it's the same on
Yeah,
the
like,
on the side of the rebels,
but
but the rebels know
still,
that they're on the good
It
side.
did coming from the perspective of a stormtrooper, of course, I would be scared if someone
No,
just
I'm not
randomly
saying that
went
they wouldn't be
if-
scared. I'm just saying
yeah,
that, like,
unexpectedly went in my room, pointed a blaster at me, and just put these little Campbell soup cans all over my room, and I'm just like, what is going on?
right. No, I'm not saying they shouldn't be scared. I'm just saying it's like, it's a deeper conversation if we're talking about...
I just say they made it seem a little bit
Thin.
rough. Like the Empire,
Mhm.
the Rebellion wasn't so nice when it came to
Well,
solving
and that's
these
the thing. I
problems.
think it's very few and far between that we see things like that because obviously it didn't make it into the movie, so we don't see very much aggressive rebellion moments. We see a lot of aggressive stormtrooper moments because that's what we're supposed to see. That's what helps the story.
But then we look at like
more
Saw
realistic.
Gerrera's partisans in Rogue One, and it's like, oh, they are a little bit more brutal.
Mm-hmm.
There's like, suicide bombers and crazy stuff like that. There's people that are like that whole ambush. You'd never think of the rebellion to be the ones who ambush,
I would
but
also point out that they're not necessarily the rebellion. They are just like you said,
they're their own.
Saw
They're freedom fighters, but
Mhm.
they were part of the rebellion. But they still had those beliefs, and that a decent contingent joined the partisans makes me believe that the Empire wasn't. Oh, I dropped another glasses case.
God, how many
I'm
do you
just
have?
losing them today. Wait, what?
How many do you have?
I only have the two. One is for my astigmatism, and the other one is for.
Oh, I didn't know there
light.
were two different types of glasses.
No, this one is just like for looking at screens for too long.
Oh, yeah, I need some of those.
I probably should wear them, but I'm not.
That's all right. All right.
Everything's okay with my eyes.
Tatooine Sandstorm. In this one, Luke's mannerisms
Uh-oh.
are super weird, and I understand that when we first see him in Return of the Jedi, his mannerisms are already different, and I still get a little bit of a weird vibe off of them, but I actually understand them. But in this scene, they were just still super weird. They weren't like, oh, I get why he's acting this way. He just, like, was very, like, pretentious sounding. And, like, I get that obviously the sandstorm itself was not helping. The man-made
with
sandstorm.
Hearing them, absolutely.
But Han and Leia were, like, still Han and Leia. And I felt like Luke was just kind of like, I'll be back. Bye.
Exactly, just like, and it's like, I owe you, kid.
Yeah.
Ah, like, you saved my butt out there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh jeez.
Good
As you
idea,
can
not
hear the-
good
You
execution.
could hear the massive turbines just blowing into the camera.
Yeah, they just sound like giant leaf blowers.
They are giant leaf blowers. They're like, I think they were like plane engines that they like repurposed just to blow a bunch of sand all over the place.
And then last but not least, Vader's arrival and then him reaching out to Luke. I do wish we saw this one in the films, because...
Yes. This is the one that a lot of people say they wish they had.
Yeah, because we see not only like the like fatherly moment of Vader being while he's
my
in
son.
Vader, before the confrontation, but we also see Luke building his lightsaber. So both of those things make me wish we saw it. Other than
Exactly.
that, and it's also like such a good parallel of like Vader's face into Luke's face with the cloak over it. Love that. That was great.
When I was a kid, when I saw Luke wearing like the dark outfit, I was like, oh no, he's turned to the dark side. Oh no, because only dark side people wear black robes. And I was like, but he has a green lightsaber.
But
What's
he's
going
fine.
on? Like I was
That's so funny.
conflicted. I sensed the conflict within me.
Yeah, that it was a very, very good deleted scene.
It was a very good deleted scene, and that's probably the one that I would like if I were to pick one that would go back in the
Yeah.
most. It would be the old lady scream. No. It would be
Same.
Luke building his lightsaber.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think that's it. Do you have any final thoughts other than that?
A lot of these I'm glad that they got rid of, especially the ones in Empire Strikes Back. They seem very sketch, just like a little, ooh, no thank you.
Yeah.
But when I also, and forgive me for going too fast, but
That's
while
okay.
I was at it, I watched the deleted scenes for episode 1, and
Mhm,
a
mhm.
lot of it is not as disjointed or as like, alternative as the other scenes that we've witnessed here today. A lot of them are just things that would have fit well, but probably would have just increased runtime and made
Right.
it a little bit more boring.
Yeah.
But
Nope, I agree entirely.
I might save the story about the first deleted scene for when we
Yes.
actually get to it.
Yeah, because
I'm
I'm
really
excited for that.
funny story from when I was a kid about it.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. Is it going to be you and me again doing the prequels?
Probably. I think I'll reach out to Danny and Grace and see how they're feeling if they want to be in it. But
'Cause
yeah.
I've got some good stories about it. I feel like I can put a lot to the table, but I don't want to be like, me, pick me. You know?
No, you're good. We'll hash it out and we'll find out what we're gonna do for that. But we are gonna come back with prequel trilogy deleted scenes and sequel trilogy deleted scenes. So everybody stay
Which
tuned for
may
that.
just be longer because when looking at the Disney Plus roster of deleted scenes for The Last Jedi, also, I looked, there are no deleted scenes for The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay, yeah. So maybe that's what it was.
So we'll have to wait for that, or if there even are.
they're never coming. They're never gonna put it out.
But why is that? Why do you think they're never going to put it out?
I don't know. I just heard that. You know how
What's
you
that?
like overhear things in the Star Wars community and you just kind of brush it off, but that's one of those things that I overheard and I was like, okay, cool. So I don't
Sure,
think
then
they're
we'll
going to
just do
ever
The
put
Force
anything
Awakens
out.
and The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi had 28
We can
deleted
theorize
scenes, but-
about
yeah,
Rise of Skywalker deleted scenes, which I think will be fun.
because I feel like if we are to discuss anything like that, we would have to talk about the previous director's Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, or as they were going to call it, Duel of the Fates.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can have an episode discussing
We'll
that
do
as well.
just a separate one.
Yeah,
We'll
the separate
find it.
one, but the
Yeah.
old Rise of Skywalker.
We'll figure it out. Brody, do you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Oh. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TK50015.
Wonderful. You can find me personally at CJerica on Instagram or CJerica95 on Twitter. And you can follow my blog at thekybercrystal.wordpress.com. Crystal does have 2 L's in it. I haven't posted there in a long time. I was working on a Chadwick Boseman post. So hopefully that will come soon. But like I said, full-time school, full-time work, and podcast host. It's just a lot. So we're taking our time and we're appreciating the loyalty and the fans and the friends within this community. And then if you want to follow Kessel Run Weekly, we are basically available everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Kessel Run Weekly. You can also join our Facebook group, Kessel Crew. Typically we post polls there. Sometimes we just have Star Wars discussions. I would love for that Facebook group to become more active, so please go check that out. Please request to join and start creating some conversation. It doesn't just have to be us. Feel free to submit posts there. You can listen to us wherever you find your podcasts, and if you don't find us on your podcast app, please let us know, and we'll see if we can get there. Don't forget to visit the YouTube channel to watch the game show in video and audio format. And I think that's it. Gosh, gotta make sure I go through all those boxes, you know?
Wait, what boxes?
All of my, follow us on everything. Reach out to us on this.
Like check off the boxes.
Yeah. I had it so down pat, and
I
then
thought
it just
was
disappeared.
A unrelated thing, like,
No.
I gotta clean
I
out
gotta
my
check these
stuff.
boxes real quick. No.
Yeah, it's like, no, I gotta unpack some boxes that I got.
No, that's it. Thank you all so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed. Please go watch those deleted scenes. Think of those opinions for yourself and find out how you feel about them. And then come back with us in a few weeks. I'm going to say 2 weeks from now. To learn about the prequel trilogy deleted scenes and see how you feel about those. Thank you all so much for listening or watching, and may the Force be with you.
Always.
Bye.